Welcome to the Epic Christmas Countdown. If you are ignorant of the information, my name is Jay Manners, and this is the show where we count down the days till Christmas, and every day we talk about something Christmassy. And today our topic is going to be elves. Every legend that we hear about Santa is somehow involving that he has elves that work for him. Anybody who watches Lord of the Rings knows that elves are not short little people with pointy ears. They're like tall and they have long flowing hair and they're really good at shooting bows and arrows. Bow and arrow, I don't know how the proper pluralization of those two go together. But you know, they're not like tiny little people. Those are dwarves that are like tiny people and they, run around. But these are not dwarves. So there has to have been some kind of confusion somewhere. And the reality of it is that Santa does not have elves working for him up in the North Pole, because to our knowledge, elves don't really exist, or at least not that we found. The truth of the matter is that while Santa is making his rounds on Christmas Eve, every once in a while he'll find a child that has stayed up and attempted to meet him. And most of the time, children that are that stupid really want to go with Santa and go to the North Pole. And so Santa sees them and says, "Oh, little boy or little girl, would you like to come and see my workshop in the North Pole?" And the little kid's like, "Oh yes, I want to see the workshop in the North Pole, Santa." And so Santa takes the kid to the North Pole with him, and then the child then becomes a slave laborer there in the North Pole. Because it's, again, as I told you before, he lives in the North Pole, the middle of nowhere. If any child ever got wise and decided to escape, they're not even going to make it to Canada before they die of hypothermia. That's just the reality of it. And a theory that was handed to me recently, I don't know how true it is, but it's a theory nonetheless, is that Mrs. Claus is the one who introduced Santa to slave labor. Apparently, the other part of the theory is that Mrs. Claus is Asian. And so being familiar with the child slave labor industry introduced Santa to using children as slaves. Now, I'm not trying to be racist and accuse Asians of being all about slave labor. I'm just saying that most of the news reports that we get about child slave labor happen to come from Asia. Or at least that's the person who handed me this theory. That's what they were under the influence of believing. Anyways, we're not really sure about that part of it, but we do at least know that Santa's workforce is not magical creatures with pointy ears and they're really, really short. No, let's be real. They're children, okay? And once they're too old, they get booted out. We're still investigating to try to find out what happens once they're not children anymore and they grow up. That's still part of the research. We're still trying to figure all that stuff out. We don't know, have no idea. But we at least know that he's using children to make those toys for other children. So freaking weird. Anyways, that brings us to the end of the episode where we tell you how many days it's left till Christmas. And today we are down to 3 days until Christmas. I'm moving my hand all around here. 3 days until Christmas. 3 days until Christmas.